Peng Haiqiu Laizhou Peng, good old scholar, reading in the villa, far from home, between mid-autumn. Good old Peng has not come home, not any human companion. It is truly lonely. He thought people in the village cannot talk. Only mounds of health is the county's celebrities. There is always the unknown evil that he always looked down on him. After the moon in the sky, he feel bored, forced to write a note to come mound during his lifetime. They are drinking. Someone came knocking. Nunnery go out the door, surprised to find a scholar to see the owner. Peng good old left the banquet, respectfully invite guests into the house, salute each other hand, sitting next to the place of origin at the banquet, asked the student's last name. Student said, I am Guangling. People with your last name, the word see autumn occasion of the night, stay in a hotel you feel miserable heard elegant, so without introduction, come to meet. Peng good old fine look scholar, wearing clean clothes and laughter, conversation, romantic elegance. Peng good old very pleased to say, you and I are the same family today. What a good day, guests can meet this. He commanded to give Peng Haiqiu power, like old friends treat him. Peng Haiqiu good old observation intention seems to despise mound students, Qiu students with admiration attitude and Peng Haiqiu conversation. Peng Haiqiu always arrogant, unwilling to treat it. Peng good old mound for raw ashamed. They interrupted their conversation, the proposed first by his own singing folk ballads to drinking add to the fun, so look a long days, coiffed, sang few Feng Hao's song, so everyone in the together and laughed together. Peng Haiqiu said, I cannot sing, cannot be with you this song with elegance and asked people to sing for me. All right, good old Peng said. Heard you. Peng Haiqiu said, Laizhou city has no name. Prostitutes. Peng good old replied, no. Peng Haiqiu long silence on the Nunnery, said, I just called a man, just outside the door, bring her in. Nunnery walk out the door, she saw a woman at the door wandering outside, took her to lead a horse. This woman about 16 more, like a beautiful fairy. Peng good old marvel wow, quickly helped her to sit down. Liu woman dressed in yellow shawl, aroma drifting for. Peng Haiqiu immediately condolences woman said, can you trek thousands of miles? It smiling woman should be uttered. Peng good old greatly surprised, they have to ask questions. Peng Haiqiu said, unfortunately, there is no beauty in your village. West Lake boat. I just called her. For the woman said, very good, please sing it again. Just now you sing in the boat. Lang song heartless woman sings heartless lang. Horse wash spring marsh voice away. Horse sound dark and quiet high Jiangtian, a small mountain month turn did not return. The court of Rabbi Shao do not complain leave much, but worry Huan would be less sleep where, do not make the wind flock. Monkey is not, mo linky on to go. Peng Haiqiu out Yudi from knee socks, with the song playing, the end of the song, flute aborted. Peng good old marvel, said, from lake to here, far more than 1,000 miles, you are able to quickly color. Is it right that you are immortal? Peng Haiqiu said, dare say is immortal, but I think it is thousands of miles away like far tonight courtyard of the West Lake leisure more beautiful than usual, cannot not watch, you tell me to do. Good old Peng Haiqiu intend to see unusual ability, so I agreed, said, a tremendous honor. Peng Haiqiu asked go or boat ride to the good old Peng thought the boat relatively easy, replied, I want to take a boat. Peng Haiqiu said here call the boat quite far in the Milky Way should have ferried the ship. Yangtze air waved, said come ship, boat come on we're going to West Lake, give remuneration soon. There will be a color boat floating down from the sky, filled with clouds around. Everyone boarded the color boat. The boat has a saw person holding the end of paddle, the paddle rings long wearing the dents, shaped like a feather, a paddle stroke, the wind blowing, color boat gradually ascend to the sky, sailed southward, fast as an arrow made. After some time, the boat fell to the water, only to hear the orchestral everywhere, noisy. Peng good old out of the cabin and saw the moon reflected on the lake shore, cruise ships and more like a busy market. Boatmen stopped rowing, let the color boat drifting downstream. Look closely, the West Lake is really here. Peng Haiqiu out from the rear cabin food and wine, and we are pleased to drinking together. A little while, a boat building gradually close color boat, sailing side by side with color boat. Jitu on boat looked to the floor. There are 2 or 3 people sitting together playing chess. Loud raucous laughter. Peng Haiqiu handed the woman a glass of wine, said, "With a glass of wine to see you off when women drink." Good old Peng reluctantly walked up and down, lest she leave, then secretly kicked her feet. She also placed at an angle eyes ogle. Peng good old more emotional, the agreed date in the future to meet the request. The woman said love, such as Mongolia, just find out the name of one mother, do not know. Ayako a good old Peng Haiqiu put the handkerchief to the woman, said I set for you a covenant 3 years after the meet, then stood up and asked the woman in the palm of your hand, said, fairy I will pry the window neighbor vessel, sent the woman inside, such is the size of the plate hole in the window, the woman pathful like hunting in general to fall, do not feel cramped. Soon I heard the neighbor boat people say one mother awake, houseboat planning to go immediately. I saw the good old Peng has been building boats more to dock, the boat people have left, the travel was suddenly gone, so he will be on. Peng Haiqiu said that he thought the shore, and he was slightly sightseeing together. Just a suggestion put forward, Choi ship has docked. Peng good old color boat then left, walking around, I felt a mile away and more. Peng Haiqiu came from behind, led by a horse, let Peng good old Cayenne who he had to leave again, and said, when I borrowed to Malay but go for a long time he did not come back. At this time pedestrians have been very rare. Good old Peng looked up, the moon has west ramp, revealing the sky is about to dawn. His students also disappeared. Peng good old led a horse floundered, caught in a dilemma. He Quima arrived birthing place, and the boat but had disappeared. He thought of the pockets of money, more gloomy and troubled. After the big light, good old Peng saw a gold embroidered into a small pocket on horseback, inside hand touched the 342 silver. They bought food, attentive wait, I feel almost noon. He thought better to temporarily go look for one mother, students can take the mound inquire about the news. When he asked the name of one mother, who did not know, consciously dial. The next day he rode the road. Fortunately, the horse is very docile, not weak enough to force, to go 2 weeks, he was back home. When the good old Peng and the others by boat heaven, Nunnery to announce his return home, he said the owner has immortality away, whole family in tears, that he never came back up. Peng good old home, leash horses, walked in the door, surprised his family, gathered around to inquire about the situation. He told himself 11 this unusual encounter. He thought of his return home alone. I am afraid it will ask house mound after mound of raw whereabouts. It warned the family not to spread out the news. Is Yu Jian talked about the origins of the horse. We think this is the immortal to stay, they have to go to the stables. And so when we came to the stables, horses were gone, only to be tied to the reins raw mound beside the manger. We very horror, they shouted. Peng good old look. I saw Qiu was born in the horse shed head down, face, such as ashes, questioning not answer, just to open and closed it. Peng good old could not bear to unlock the reins, to help students to bed mound like a lost soul like life, give him fill some gruel, he can drink a little bit. At midnight, he was a little sobersome, hurried to the toilet, Peng health and lifted him go, he would defecate a few horse manure eggs, and gave him to drink a small amount of gruel, he was able to speak. Peng good old asked whether the bed fine, He Chan said, after disembarking, Peng Haiqiu find my chat place where no one came, he playfully patted my neck, I was unconscious, fell to the ground lying on the ground after a moment, a look at themselves, has become a horse in my heart still understand, but cannot speak this is a great shame, really cannot let his wife and children know, please do not leak out. Peng good old keen on the idea, send servants traveling, send him home, Peng good old one never be able to be immersed in the mother. After 3 years, because her husband served as Yuanzhou past sentence, the good old Peng went to visit. Yuanzhou has a Liangguangzi, Peng good old family friend, please Peng hosted a good old drink. There are several banquet diva all come to meet. Liang Guangzi Wan asked how your mother did not come to announce his family, said Wan, your mother is sick. Liang Guangzi said angrily, this girl thinks very sound price, you can use a rope tied to her. Peng Wan heard the good old mother's name, was surprised and asked Wan, mother, who is Liang Guangzi? Said this man was a prostitute, is the first beauty Yongzhou, because a little known, it will be insolent. Peng, good old suspect, this is the chance of the same name, but the heart has been pop beating, and very much like to see the Wan mother on one side. Not long after the arrival of Wan mother, Liang Guangzi faced anger to rebuke her meal. Peng, good old closer look, she saw Wan really mid-mother, it would be for Liang Guangzi said, this is the man I used to have a friendship. Wan Wang give forgiveness. Wan Peng, good old mother, to take a closer look here, seems to be amazed. Liang Guangzi find time to ask, then ordered Wan mother turn toast. Peng, good old asked, do you remember the Heartless Lang song? It? Wan mother, more horror, looked at him for a long time. Just sing this lyric writing, listen to the sound, and then sing the same time Mid-Autumn Festival. Drinking wine, Peng, Liang Guangzi ordered Wan to accompany your mother, good old sleep. Peng, good old mother, holding Wan's hand and said, after 3 years to meet the covenant, was able to achieve today? Wan Niangshu, the last people to swim with the West, did not drink a few glasses of wine, like a drunk suddenly, generally when being unconscious, was taken away by a man, in a village. I entered a nunnery collar, there are 3 people on the banquet, you are one of them. Later sailed to West, from between the window frames sent me song powerhouse. You hold my hand whenever I ponder these circumstances. It is considered to be dreaming, but I yako handkerchief still, it now also pack a layer after layer, carefully treasure. Peng, what happened to good old mother? Told Wan, both sigh. Wan mother leaned about the good old Peng, flew arms, Jing Jing Gaian said, immortal already gave us a good medium. You do not think you can discard prostitutes? People no longer think of Oliver caught me, good old Peng said, the covenant ship. And I have not forgotten one day. If you're interested in phase from the bag is exhausting all, sell the horse, my expense the next morning. Peng, good ancient, put their experience to inform Liang Guangzi, also the brother to borrow money when the past sentence, the mother of 1,000 tales of silver slashing Wan membership of prostitution, with Wan mother back home. They occasionally return to the villa. Wan Niang also recognized where to drink in those days. She said, different people become horses, it must be the man for the portrait beasts, let him become a horse, it could not be called man. Hate him. Lion, elephant, crane, are subject to spur. Peng, how can people say that this is not God's love for them too? 3 years later said, in meat of the covenant, but also for the salvation of people out of misery.